Hello everyone, I'm back with the third video on my YouTube channel, and I'd quickly like to apologize for my break. I'm really sorry about it, but I had some IR problems, and good thing is that they're sorted now, so hopefully I can get back into YouTube and start posting somewhat regularly. So one thing I didn't tell you guys in the previous videos was upgrading your DBM version to V2. So still, a lot of you guys would still be using v1.6 or something else, which is the old version of DBM. So you'd want to go in your Steam, right click, properties, betas, and click here and select beta 2.0. So this will update your DBM to V2. However, if you were already using DBM V2, over the past few days there have been a few updates, and as you can see, the last time we did something to our Repl.it, we were using DBM version 2.08. But if I go to DBM and do about, as you can see, it has been updated to 0.11. So first of all, there have been a few new mods and a few new features. So first of all, we're going to upload all our new files onto our Repl.it. So go ahead and create a new zip, call it bot.zip. And one thing I'd like to address is that canvas mods. Canvas is used for image manipulation. These are extremely broken on Repl.it. However, they work fine on localhost. So I'm not going to be copying these canvas mods because our bot is not going to use canvas. And after all, canvas is slow compared to like normal image manipulation library that you get. That is, it uses GIMP, I believe. So I'll just do this and I'll put all my canvas mods in here. So now we don't have any canvas. What we're going to do is select this. Just don't select node modules and none of these canvases, and everything else, just put it inside bot.zip. Once that's done, again, we're going to drag our bot.zip into our Repl.it. Alright, so once your bot.zip has been uploaded, go to shell and just type unzip bot.zip. I don't know if it's just me, but Repl.it is being really slow for me today, so yeah, just click enter as soon as you see that and give it a second. Again, we don't want to use a lowercase a, we want to use an uppercase A like that. And there we go, everything should have been upgraded. So now we can just delete our bot.zip. And because last time we looked into our bot.js, it was using DBM 13.3. We have now shifted to 13.5.1. So what we're going to make sure you guys have stopped your bot. So yeah, you just want to stop it before copying anything. So go ahead and go to UptimeRobot like you had set it up, and expand this and click pause. Because we don't want our bot to be maintained every 5 minutes, as if it's not running, this will basically just restart it. So we don't want that. And yeah, once that's done, I'm going to give you guys a brief info about DBM-E. So DBM-E stands for DBM Enhanced, Disco Bot Maker Enhanced. It is a package or add-on, whatever we want to call it, that I made that upgrades DBM V2 in various ways, as DBM V2 does have a few cons and it is lacking a few features that are somewhat important according to me. So all you have to do to install this is basically download, click here, and it'll start downloading a start.js script. Give it a second. So firstly, because we have our bot hosted in Repl.it, we'll first need to install the enhancements locally, so we see them, because these enhancements, they include custom scripts, custom mods and files, and etc. Currently, this is the release of DBM-E, and I made this all by myself. So currently we're on version 1.01, and yeah, so go ahead and drag this in and go in your address bar and type cmd. Now, instead of using node bot.js to start our bot, we'll use node start.js. As you can see, it's installing DBM-E version 1.01, And the DBM build for DBM-E, it's latest, as you can see. It's built for Disco Bot Maker version 2.0.11 and it is 2.0.11. So this is currently up to date and I'll try my best to maintain it over the time. So as you can see, it installed it, and yeah. So now that it has installed it, it must have installed a few extra mods and things like that. So because we won't be running our bot locally, we can just close this and do the same thing on Repl.it, because if we use the custom mods in our commands, they should be both present locally, so we can see the modifications in DBM, the custom mods, so they pop up, and they need to be on the Repl.it too, so the bot knows what to do. Because if you don't have DBM enhancement installed, and if you use a mod that is required by a command that's a DBM-E mod, you'll just get an error saying something is missing. So yeah, what we're going to do is, now that we have installed it here, it was very easy, as you guys know. We won't be using our bot locally, so we don't need to do node start.js here. We'll also install DBM-E on our Repl.it. So just drag the start.js in. And one thing I forgot to tell you guys is that, if you might have noticed, the previous bot was using Discord.js 13.30. So now, because we have shifted to 13.51, we might wanna quickly let's not do that. First, let me clear it by typing clear npmi download discord.js at 13.5.1, or you can do latest too, but I'm just gonna do 13.5.1. So npmi discord.js at 13.5.1. This should install it. Alright, so once it's done, let's go ahead and go to Repl.it, because we'll be using DBM-E. And the thing is, installing DBM-E enhancements is very easy. You just have to download the start.js script, put it in your directory, and it requires an npm module called download. So we'll have to use npm-i download once. And once DBM-E is installed, we will be starting our bot with node start.js instead of node bot.js. So yeah, every time there's an update, DBM-E will automatically update itself over the internet. And yeah, so what we're going to do is install DBM-E on Repl.it, because we have it and locally installed too. So firstly, stop your bot if it says that. Yeah, my bad, I might have mistakenly clicked run. So go to your .repl.it, and because our starter file will now be start.js, I'll just rename this to start.js. So what this will do, every time we click a run, it'll execute start.js instead of executing bot.js. So because npm-i download is required by DBM-E, we're first going to do that really quick. So npm-i download and enter. Give it a second. So once that completes, go to console and click run once. There we go. As you can see, DBM-E 1.01 is installed. It's built for Disco Bot Maker version 2.11, and we are indeed on 2.11. So DBM-E is very up to date. So there we go. DBM-E has installed. Now, if we click a run on our bot again. Alright, so as you can see, the bot is ready. Let me just quickly restart the UptimeRobot thing, so our bot doesn't die in the middle of something. So yeah, the bot will stay up now. So let's go back to Discord and test out our command. So let's go ahead and do ping. As you can see, it's working just fine. Alright, so once you've installed DBM-E, if you go to create actions, you should see this section here. So as you can see, these are the custom mods that I've added and developed with DBM-E, and I'll be adding more mods in the future, hopefully. I'll try to describe every mod and make something like a mod description here in the future update. But yeah, For the time being, let's go ahead and quickly improve our hub command with the help of select menus and buttons. So what we're going to do is, firstly, let's copy our old text and keep it saved in our history. And firstly, we'll just do select a menu. Let's create the select menu. We'll just let the placeholder be type of help, and the temp variable will be answer. So only the command author can use this. So let's go ahead and do that, and we'll add two options. So you can pick two things. First one will be commands, and the value will be 1. And you can copy and paste this. This will be support. Value will be 2. So let's say if we clicked 1, our temp variable answer will have the value of 1. But if we click the support one, our temp variable answer will have the value of 2. So we don't want these actions to do anything, because we'll be using a mod called await interaction. This is a custom mod I built by myself, because there's no way to await a button press, and because if you try to make a help menu that is with pages that you can navigate back and forth, you can't do that, because you can only make subdivisions and action containers inside action containers. So yeah, there was no way possible to do that, but I've come up with this. And yeah, so we don't want our select menu to do anything, so we'll just put and action sequence. So go ahead, click save, and type of help. If you don't want it to say select the menu, I'll just give it like this. And let's, so if you realize, send messages didn't have a section called no interactions. So yeah, if you wanted to edit a message later on and have no interaction, so let's say if your previous same message had like a button and you want the button to be removed, there was no way to remove that button. So I added this, and yeah, so let's save this as message. And now what we can do is do await interaction. So we'll await for a total of 30,000 milliseconds, which will be 30 seconds. And this will be the ID of interaction. So because we are using a select menu, we can directly use this answer variable. But if we were using buttons, buttons have an ID. So your await interaction will just return the unique ID of the button you just pressed. So yeah, our select menu is only gonna work for 60 seconds. But we'll just put 30 seconds here. So it's going to wait for 30 seconds. If no buttons have been pressed in 30 seconds, it's going to time out basically. So we will just put like ID. I'll just do interact ID. And if it times out, so if no buttons were pressed in the 30 seconds, we will get a timeout. So this will become timeout. So what we're going to do, if the user does not respond, we're going to check variable, and our variable will use last interaction ID. So we're checking if last interaction ID is timeout, because if it times out, the default will go to timeout. So if it has timed out, that means the user has not pressed any buttons in the 30 seconds. If true, we want to continue. So we'll just make it delete the message and stop the command. So we'll just use delete message, and in source message we'll use the message variable. So it's going to delete the main message we had up here sent. Now after that, we want to end action sequence, because we don't want our bot to do anything other after that. Make sure to use end sequence, not within container. This is for something else I will tell you guys in the future videos. So there you go. Action 4 and 5 are our stop commands. So what we can do is basically, if true, that means if it has timed out, it'll continue. But if false, skip 2 next actions. So if the user has pressed or selected an option from the select menu, we will skip these 2. And now we will use our DBM enhanced action anchor. We'll just give this 1 and 2. 2 will be support, and 1 will be help. This is the ID. So remember, if you guys remember, in the select menu, we gave commands an ID of 1. Like, here you go, value 1. And support an ID of 2. This means what we're going to do now is go to action anchor. And in here, we'll use our variable called answer. Because if the user has pressed something, that means it will have an answer, because if this is false, that means the user selected one of the 2 options. So if it's 1, let's say this variable, it'll go to help. But if it's 2, it'll go to this. Let me just name this commands. So yeah. Now once we're in here, what we're going to do, so let's say if the user selected the commands one, I want it to show this message, and we don't want to send another embed, we just want to edit the same one. So we'll just use the last message, and this time we're gonna check no interactions. So this means the select menu on the previous one will be edited out. Once that's done, go ahead and do edit and action sequence. And we'll copy and paste the same thing. But in the support one, we can name our message to be... Actually, let's use embeds. Yeah, let's use embeds. So I'm editing the commands one. I'll just put this message inside an embed. And because we already had sent a message like this, we want to remove that. So to remove that, we'll just put a space here. And go into embeds. And in the description, I'll just paste this thing in. And let's name it commands, and I'll give the embed a color of white. Sometimes 6Fs doesn't work, so I just put a D at the end. So yeah, this should work, and no interactions is checked. That means it'll have no buttons or no select menus, just it'll be an empty embed. Alright, so I guess let's do the same thing for support. Let's put a space here and just do get help. I'll give it a red color, a little pastel-ish red color, and we can, in the description, we can put like support server, something like this, and then you can put your server link here, like discord.gg/ town hall or something. So yeah, let's just do that, and let's uncheck no interactions because we want our button to be there. So in this, we're gonna add a button. So go ahead, uncheck no interactions. Alright, so go ahead and check no interactions because I want a button to show up, and it will be, let's just do a close button. So let's make it red, and only the command author can use this, and it'll be valid for 60 seconds. We don't want the button to do anything, so actually, yeah, let's end action sequence. So there we go, we have no select menus, we have a close button, and then we have one embed that we're sending. And we're updating the old previous message. So there we go, and after the message has been edited, we'll await interaction for a total of 30,000 milliseconds and store response. So now we can just check Repl.it. If response is, let's say, so I'll just change the button's ID in the send message. Let's say close. I'll put the unique ID as close. So if response is closed, then I want it to jump to action number 4 because that's going to delete our message. But if the user has timed out, then actually, yeah, let's wait for 60 seconds. So if the user clicks the close button within 60 seconds, it closes it. But if he doesn't do anything for 60 seconds, the menu will close by itself. So if it's close, go. But if it's not false, that means it has timed out. So go to 4 anyways. Alright, so let's save this. And because our bot is on the Repl.it, we will quickly go to project directory, data, and because we made changes to commands, I'll just drag commands in here. There we go. Go ahead, replace it, and let's run it. I forgot to tell you guys, I've added a slight update. I changed some text. So yeah, I just updated it while recording the video. So there we go. Now it has updated. Now we can just click this run button again and give it a second. There we go. So now if we come here and if we do !help, as you can see, we can select the menu. So if we select commands, there you go. And if we do help again, and this time select support, there we go. Support server, town hall. You can also make this a link button, but I just didn't do that for the time being. So you can make it so if you click the button, it takes you to a link, and that link can be the link of the support server. So let's go ahead and try closing. There we go, it works perfectly. So that was how to use select menus and interactions. So yeah, if you don't pick an option for 60 seconds, the menu will close itself. But if you do, this button can do anything, by the way. So it can be like a go back button, so it'll change the embeds description again. To select the menu, it can go to the start or something. So yeah, let's close it, and that'll be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and like I said, in the future I'll be trying to publish as many DBM-E mods as possible, because these mods are going to be a lifesaver to you guys, and I can assure that these will make up for the cons of DBM V2 and for the missing features. So that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you so much for the support in the last video. It's really intriguing for me that you guys like the video so much, and yeah, thanks guys, and I'll see you in the next video. And in the next video I'll teach you guys the logic of DBM, like variables, parameters, and more things like that. But thank you for watching, and peace out.